court doesn't operate in a vacuum. The court understands that in this country, for at least the past close to a decade, we have been at each other's throats. You can sit down. Why is that? Why do we have to be that? Now, how many votes were cast in this election, this race? 15,000?
27,000.
27,000.
Almost 28.
Almost 28. And assuming, for the sake of argument, these 58 people, that means over 27,500 voters got it right. And I'm not, this does not have anything to do with the decision, but it's not evidence of any great conspiracy. It's not evidence of one political party wanting to do away with other political party. That's not what it's about. They did a good job in 99.9% of the vote. What makes it significant here is the closeness of the race. If the race had been decided by 100 votes, we wouldn't be here. Now think about that. So please, don't believe any report of this that this is some evidence of a great conspiracy or some evidence of rigged elections in the state of Georgia. It's not. I will tell you that today. Now, that having been said, I have listened to the quotes or citations of authority from both sides. Now, I'm going to give you my experience. Everything you need to know about life, you can learn from rock and roll music. Now, you all will not remember most of them, but I'll tell you who was. The first one is, heard it through the grapevine. You may attribute that to a Georgia and Gladys Knight and the Pips, but it was really Marvin Gaye's song to start with. Son, believe half of what you see, son, and none of what you hear. Okay? I wish people who use social media would understand and go by that lesson of rock and roll music. The other is from a song called The Boxer by Simon and Garfunkel. Has the lyric in it that says, still a man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. So when you are watching these 24-hour opinion channels, just remember, and I'm not singling any of them out, I'm saying all of them. Don't just hear what you want to hear. Don't just tune in stuff you want to hear. You never learn from people that talk like you do or that agree with you. Listen to people that may have a different viewpoint from you. And when you listen, do you know that we as Americans, we don't listen? When somebody says something, we immediately begin formulating our response. Judges have to really know how to listen. You have to listen with the intent to be convinced by what the other person is saying. I have to try to do that in my everyday life. I think if everybody tried to do that a little better, we might just have a better country. Now, that's all. There's plenty of other rock and roll songs I could get to you, but I understand my version of rock and roll has to have some brass in it. I don't like no guitar bands. I'm sorry, the Beatles ruined rock and roll music. If you ain't got some trumpets and some saxophones, you ain't got no music. But anyway, and now they don't even have guitars, do they? They just have whatever they got. But that's what old people, my people who were old when I was young, they thought we were going to hell for listening to Elvis Presley. So maybe it's all Elvis's fault. I don't know. But anyway, I think that I found it somewhat refreshing anyway that the voters who did show up or that were subpoenaed, they took a keen interest in voting. They took a keen interest in being here and seeing how it worked. So that I don't think any of them. There's no question that I don't believe there's a scintilla of evidence that anybody in election boards, voters, did anything deliberately wrong to cast some problems with the case, with the election. And I have to follow the law, and I intend to do so. I just got word yesterday my last decision was reversed, so I can't guarantee that I'll be right. So that's what the people in Atlanta decide. But I ask you to just focus on the fact that although it's not really relevant to this case, they got it right in so many thousands of voters more than these 58. Now they may have been in some other races, some problems, I don't know. But at least every one of these people had the opportunity to vote for President of the United States. And for, I guess, we didn't have a senator running last time. I guess the local
Congress.
The local congressperson. So it wasn't a wasted effort. I guess it's because the candidates just did such a good job of campaigning. Got them all confused. I don't know. No, but anyway, I'm not requiring anybody, if you want to get something to me, I doubt seriously that I won't get it out this week, but I'm going to try to have it decided by Friday of next week. And if you do, I can e-file it, right? Y'all got peach cord, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. If you see that I haven't filed something by, say, noon on Friday of next week, feel free to say, Judge. Now, when I started practicing, you never told the judge that he promised you a ruling on a motion within 10 days because they would immediately sign an order against you. They would rule, but they rule against you. I don't think that was true, but that's what they always said. But feel free to remind me, that's what you said, and we're looking for it, and it will not be held against you. All right? Thank you for all your work.